found something that I have been doing that's been working very, very well and has increased my percentage of manifesting things after doing it one time. Neville Goddard's state akin to sleep, which is SATS. It's a technique where you can manifest anything you want to come into your life after doing it one time. So if you can get yourself into the state akin to sleep, you can manifest anything you want to come into your life after one impression with the subconscious mind. And essentially, the state akin to sleep is this little area in between being conscious and being unconscious and going into the subconscious. So this little area I like to call the drift. I want you to make sure before you do this that you know exactly what you want. And that should be something very specific. So find something very specific, get it in your mind, write it down, exactly what you want and exactly what this looks like to you. And kind of play out a mental drama in your mind or a mental rehearsal of what this would look like and what it would feel like if you already had this, and who would you be and how would you view the world if you already had these, after you have figured out what you desire and you kind of created a mental rehearsal of the things and how it's going to feel and what it's going to look like had you already won the lottery or whatever it is that you desire. The next thing that I want you to do is find a ball of some kind, any sort of ball, something that you can hold in your hands as you're laying in bed. So, or as you're sitting in a recliner, in a chair, or you're in a meditative position where you're going to go into SATS. So you're preparing for all this. You know what you desire. You have created a visual scene. You know what it feels like. You've already rehearsed the scene, and now you have your tennis ball in your hand. And what I want you to do is you lay down in bed, you close your eyes, you take 20 deep breaths, you disconnect yourself from the three-dimensional world. And then I want you to say this to yourself 5 to 10 times after you take 20 deep breaths. I want you to say, I know my world is artificial. I know it is a simulation, and I know that I can create anything that I want. And I want you to say this inwardly 5 to 10 times. After you take your 20 deep breaths, you do your affirmations, you're living in a simulation, it's artificial, and that anything is possible to you. You play your mental rehearsal. Now you have won the lottery. How does it look? How does it feel? What is happening within your imagination in this mental rehearsal? And you create this scene as real as the three-dimensional world in your imagination, as if it's already happened. And you keep repeating this scene. So you're going to create this scene about 10, 15 to 20 seconds long of the end, 3 months after you have already won the lottery or whatever your desire is. And then you recreate that scene over, you loop it over, the scene over in a loop. Every 20 seconds, you replay the scene over and over and over and over. When you're in a conscious state and you're going into an unconscious state, meeting the subconscious mind, you enter this drift, or you go into SATS every time you go to sleep. But who are you in this state? And do you have control of the direction of your attention during this state? But you always go into it. So as you're replaying this mental rehearsal in your mind, you're going to become conscious of this state because of your awareness, this feeling in the back of your mind that has been impressed into the subconscious that you're holding this ball. And you're not to drop this ball. You know you're going to fall asleep. So as soon as you go into this drift, you're going to catch yourself in the drift before you drop the ball. And as soon as this happens, this awareness clicks, right before you drop the ball, right before you fall asleep, you're going to be in the state akin to sleep. And it's going to be in the back of your mind, and you're going to catch yourself, and you're not going to be conscious, but you're not going to be unconscious or asleep, but you're still going to have control of the direction of your attention. And when you catch yourself, you're still going to have the ball in your hand. You can still hold the ball, and you're not going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to really have a desire to move, but you're going to have control of the direction of your attention. Now, in this state, you're going to create that mental rehearsal of the end. It's going to be very simple in this state because you're not going to be conscious. So the three-dimensional world is now gone. It's not going to be there anymore. You're not going to have any limitations to what you can believe or what you can't believe or what you can experience or what you consent to be true of your world. All that is gone. You're in a different world now. You're in between being conscious and being unconscious, and you're in the drift. You are in SATS. So now you play out your mental rehearsal. Now you have placed yourself in the drift, and now you are conscious in this state. Now you can create the mental rehearsal. And then you replay the scene over and over and over and over and over in your mind, and then you will fall asleep in that point. And after that, you're going to drop the ball when you have landed that successfully. And when you drop the ball, you can wake up. You can put the ball up and go right back to sleep. And then you have landed SATS. You have created that event to happen in your world.